What's up, guys? Welcome back to another video. Hope you're all doing well today. You can probably tell by my appearance, I am very tired right now. I may or may not have been up until 7:30 grinding some Call of Duty recently, and may or may not be second prestige level 1 already. We won't go into too much detail there, but today we're not talking about COD. We are talking about quite a, I'd say quite a big announcement that's got everybody talking at the moment, which is Motocross the game has, I guess, opened its doors and revealed itself to potential consumers as such. So as you might have seen from my Instagram page, if you don't follow me on Instagram, go and follow me on Instagram at LinzMX. I posted a little teaser on the 25th, and then I posted a full trailer on the 24th of this game. However, I am in a very similar position to a lot of you guys in terms of all of the ins and outs. So it's still on a need to know basis, and all of the information has not been passed my way at least. But with any new up and coming motocross game, it might be from a biased opinion. Obviously, me recording and streaming motocross games for a living, really, I want this game to do well. I wanted Track Day R to do really well. I want Chasing the Dream, when that eventually comes to fruition, to do really well. I really want this game to do really well as well, especially as there's some people involved that I have met in person. I think they're very lovely people. I get along with really well. So there is probably a lot of bias there. So bear in mind that I come into a lot of this information with the intention of wanting it to do well. I have no financial investment in this at all yet. There's nothing going on behind the scenes. I've never played the game. I've never seen any game footage at all. I've just seen all the same information you guys have. But what I'm going to do today is I'm going to watch the trailer, which a lot of you have already seen, but I'm going to watch it again and try and break it down with my initial thoughts and do a little bit of brainstorming. I'm then going to have a big old scroll through the Kickstarter page, which a lot of people might not have done yet. And then also going to have a quick look through the Motocross the Game website, which I haven't looked at all just yet either, to see if there's anything different on there. And I want to see how it goes. Now, obviously, I posted this trailer right here onto the old YouTubes, so I have seen it already. But I thought it was really impressive. So we're just going to let this play along in the background. And I want to see if there's anything that I can maybe pick up that I didn't see previously. First thing being, the bike itself. Now, I don't believe, now this one you'll see the roadmap a little bit later, or look at the donation goals. Licensing for real world brands costs a hell of a lot of money. It's a lot of reason why MX Bikes doesn't have the licensing for stuff like that. The MX Simulator doesn't call bikes like Yamahas or KTMs, for example. It just uses the model name like SXF and YZ and so on and so forth. I don't know if that's a little bit of a loophole there. To my knowledge, there's no licensing in this until they reach a certain donation goal on Kickstarter. And I saw a lot of people saying that that's going to be a bit of an L. The only reason MX Bikes has it is because it's external mods from the community. It's not built into the core game itself. Most people's favourite game of all time, MX vs ATV Reflex, was in the same boat. They were able to use models that looked like the real life models, the real life bikes, but they couldn't call them the real life names. So the Kawasaki was the Dakumoto, Honda was the Blaze, the Yamaha was the Shima, and so on and so forth. And I think a lot of people forget about that. It's a very long time ago, but I don't think naming conventions make or break a game. I really don't. So I've got no issue if the bikes are called the Yamaduki or the Susgonda and things like that. I really don't mind it at all. Looking at this bike here, I don't even know what it is. The rear of it's looking very Honda-ish, but then the side plate, you've got a little bit of a split down the middle as well, so not too sure. It looks maybe like a little bit of Cowie action, maybe a bit of Husky action there. It might be an amalgamation of things, which I don't mind. It's if they're going to do real life, I'd prefer them being real life models with non-real life names than them being completely custom models that might look a little bit goofy, because I don't want to throw shade at particular games or do comparisons this early on. But for example, some of the Legends homemade bike models are a bit off to me. They're a little bit out there in terms of realism, and I like realism in video games. I really, really do. So that's just first things first. Picking up on this, looking at logos, we've got Virtual Mechs here, which I believe is Nico's company. We've got the games logo, of course. We've got Ariel, which is Stone Rider's brand. If it's a real company as such, yeah, I don't know. I haven't done any digging into that at all. I can't see. I think it just says MTG on the bar pad there. I can't see it too well. The logo on the side, Race Tech. So we've got Race Tech involved there, and Checkers, who's a part of the MX Bikes community now, has been part of the MX Sim community for ages. Was part of Alive building tracks there, part of Reflex. Very, very old boy in the motocross game. So good to see Race Tech and Checkers on board with it all as well. We've got Init Esports, which, if no one is aware, Init Esports made the MX Bikes LAN event possible as well with the help of Nico, and that is ran by Steffi Bow. And if you don't know who Steffi Bow is, do yourself a favour, do a little Google search. She's probably the fastest woman in the world on a motocross bike, or at least used to be. Very lovely lady. Got to meet her in Italy when I went there as well. So she's behind the game. So from a funding perspective and a connections perspective, that's really, really good. Steffi will have links to the AMA. She knows people within the industry. That could be really exciting as well. And we'll go into more detail in a second about how the game seems quite focused on the esport side of things. And then we've also got JV's logo at the bottom of here as well. And having JV on tracks, he's probably doing more than that, to be fair. He's a very talented man. Having JV on tracks in this game, the track's going to be pretty damn good. I'll be honest. I think JV is still the best track creator of all time, especially when he's working alongside people like Hell Machine, like Stone Rider, and other people as well. That is also really, really exciting. I can't make out the rest of it here. I don't even want to fathom a guess as to what else I can see going on. Maybe with these bikes, we'll all have nice customable parts as well. It looks like we're in a garage here. I saw a lot of people saying that it looked a bit arcadey from this, but you have to remember this is all like rendered out movie, probably used in Blender or some other program. I don't know how you'd make it a simulator not look like this. It's still a video game, you know. At the end of the day, I don't know what else to do. See, we've got aerial branding, so we've got Stone Rider's company's branding here. Flicking the old buckles closed. We've got another helmet, and I can tell straight away the way this helmet is designed. Sorry for pausing it on a blurry frame. There is no doubt in my mind that, let's say this is the base helmet in the game. You go into your character, you might have a colour picker or a colour slider, and I guarantee you can change the red bits, you can change the white bits, you can change the black bits, and make it as customisable as you want. We've got some goggles in the background that match the same sort of colour scheme. Same with the gloves, same with the kit as well. Just grabbing the helmet on here, 100% you'll be able to change this. One thing that might be quite cool to add, because this is a massive part, by the way, where I feel like the MXGP games, the MESX games, and the Legends and the MX vs ATV games of modern day don't do it well enough, is the customization of numbers and fonts on your kit overall. It would be great to be able to add a name to the back of this, and then not only add a name, but have more than 5 fonts that you can choose from, and have full free range of customization of moving it wherever you want to. If you want to move it so it's half hanging off the side of the helmet, then by all means you should be allowed to do so. I feel like a lot of games are quite restrictive in that sense, especially the MXGP games. It's so weird, the font choices and how small the numbers can be sometimes. Monster Energy Supercross 6 done a better job at that, to be fair. Especially on the bike, you can fill up the entire side plate of the bike if you want to. With your number, so they've done a better job there recently. But just maybe some more font choices, or even have the ability to import something. You know, maybe like on CS:GO, for example, way back in the day. Obviously, you can't do it anymore for obvious reasons. You could import a photo to use as like a graffiti or a sticker. That comes with its own risks. People are people. Humans are humans. The youngsters will probably put some things in there that other people don't want to see. But maybe if it was client side, so only you could see it rather than server side, that could work as well. Or maybe it's an option that you can toggle on and off. Who knows? But I'd like to see something like that. Obviously, same with back of the jersey. I'd like to see name and gear, a whole bunch of custom fonts straight off the rip so you can place it. We've got the traditional boot squeak. I myself, do I have Tech 8s? My boots aren't up there anymore. I can't remember what tech boots I have. I've got some A-Stars, and they are the squeakiest things on the planet. You can hear me coming from a mile away. And as he takes the bike off the stand here, you see the suspension kind of working, just popping a squat on there as well. It would, I think it would go without saying that you're probably going to have suspension sliders in some regards in this, especially if they are esport focused. It would be weird for them not to do that. And then he's hopping on the bike, having a little look down. We've got a little first-person view right here, ripping the goggles off the handlebars. I'm interested to see what the cameras are going to be like in this game, which isn't something that I thought about until now. Pops the electric start on. Don't know if you'll have to start your bike yourself or if it'll be arcadey in the sense that it'll stay running for you. But that is an incredibly good looking picture. I haven't like paused here on this still frame yet, but that looks incredible. And I wonder, because it's in Unreal Engine, this game as well, so the lighting on it's going to be really, really good. The graphics on it are going to be really, really good. So it's very, very exciting to see. I wonder what the cameras are going to be like in this, because I think the best first-person camera in any motocross game of all time is the current dynamic first-person camera in MX Bikes, and it's something that the arcade games as well have never really got good. It's also the reason why I don't play MX Simulator in first person, because it makes me feel a little bit sick after about 10 minutes where it's just locked in and your head moves around so much. So if they could replicate the MX Bikes first person as close as possible, a lot of people will be very, very happy. And then still keeping third person options, because a lot of people love playing games in third person. I know there's a time and a place for everything, especially on free ride. I like playing in third person a hell of a lot. And then it looks like you're coming from pits straight out here onto the course, or the compound, which I think it's going to be referred to as. And then there you go, it drops, the game logo comes in. Love to see that. Cheeky little revs in the background. The bikes sound good. If that's what the bikes are going to sound like in game, that's very promising. And then you can see on here as well, support the game on Kickstarter. We'll go through the Kickstarter page in a second. This is something I am incredibly excited about if it comes to fruition. At the bottom of all that, you see not only is it on Epic and not only is it on Steam, they want to get it on PS5 and Xbox as well. As a content creator, that really, really excites me, because, as you know, I predominantly do MX Bikes. A lot of us MX Bikes YouTubers, we don't really stream or play or record many other games. I really, really think that if this game is cross-platform, the community will be 10 times bigger than if it was just PC. Majority of people do play on consoles. I know PC is becoming the more popular and more viable option these days to play games on, but I'm very, very excited about that. It will be really cool. Maybe there won't be crossplay. Maybe it will be separate servers. Maybe you can mod stuff on PC. You can't mod stuff on Xbox or PlayStation. We'll see how that goes. Maybe you can't race against people on different consoles. But even if that was the case, the community itself is still going to be bigger, which I see as just a positive overall. Of course, for us and us YouTubers, especially if we really, really like the game and start playing it more and more, think of the views. The views are going to be great. It's going to be absolutely insane. So very, very happy about that. And I've not seen a game achieve crossplay successfully yet. As you'll know, the see that it's achieved 9% of its goal as well. As you know, like MESX and Legends, for example, the player base on PC is very, very, very low. But then on console, where it is mainly console title, it's really good. So we shall see. So I'm going to go through this Kickstarter page now for the very, very first time. I'll be honest, I have not looked at a Kickstarter in my life, really, unless you count as watching iDubbbz back in the day go through like awful Kickstarters, then that's about it. So I'm going to be going through this for the first time with you now. They have got, so far, it is, how long's that? 8 hours? Oh, it's not 8 hours, it's 12, about 18 hours for me since the announcement of this originally. And they're over £7,000, almost, or over $9,000 of their 100,000 goal to begin with. 30 days to go. I think that this is just a generic placeholder. It seems like the game wants to release mid next year. So they got a lot more time than that. 124 people have backed it already, which is quite cool. Now, if we scroll down, I'm going to go through all of this first before we look at any like rewards and stuff like that. So I'm going to zoom in as well so we get a nice big view. There we go. Right, what is Motocross the game? It's a materialization of nearly 30 years experience in both motocross and video games based on the people that are on the team. The core project team is or has been a motocross racer and is an active member of existing motocross video game communities. Motocross the game is the game that gamers have been dreaming of for decades, a hyper-realistic motocross simulator based on online competition, available on both PC and next-gen consoles with cross-play capabilities. Okay, they've already answered some of my, I guess, thoughts there with the cross-play. You can play against the other consoles, which is really good. And hyper-realistic motocross simulator. Simulator is a very, very key word there. That is a big differentiation of game types. It excites me a lot. I like my sim games. I'm not the biggest fan of the arcade games anymore. Used to love Live, used to love Reflex. So even if it does fall somewhere a little bit in between those and like MX Simulator, MX Bikes, I still wouldn't be unhappy about that. And what else did I read there that I wanted to pick up on? Games have been dreaming of it for decades. It's based on online competition as well. So in terms of like a long story mode that I know people have wanted for a motocross game for a long time, maybe coming up through amateur ranks, winning Loretta Lynn's, going pro after that. You might not get that here since it is focused on the online side of things rather than it being, again, based on single player. And what else is interesting is it's saying that everyone on the team is or has been a motocross racer. That is very important because a lot of games these days, especially like your milestone games, your big titles, whilst people on the team might like motocross, a lot of people on the teams of those games are just game devs in general that get outsourced to do this stuff. They don't ride bikes themselves. They don't know how bikes are meant to handle or respond or play. So that could help a lot on the realism side of things, having people that ride bikes themselves being the ones that make the game. What makes MTG unique? It stands apart from all other products available in the market. Whilst most motocross games focus on a career-driven narrative, MTG offers a competitive esports experience. Built for the long term with regular updates, seasons, and worldwide championships, MTG aims to become the reference game for motocross esport and competitive play in the likes of some of the most popular sim racing games, such as iRacing, Gran Turismo, or Assetto Corsa. So some people might shy away from this when it comes to the competitive side. A lot of people are quite casual gamers. I like playing games for the competitive side of it. I like playing against good people. I like trying to be as best as I can be and then just grinding to be as good as I can at the game and try and be the best at the game as well. So I don't mind that at all. Built for the long term with regular updates, seasons, and worldwide championships. Seasons to me, and I think seasons to a lot of people, at first thought sounds like Fortnite, Battle Pass, buy something every month. I don't know if that's going to be the case. They might explain further on. Seasons originally in my head now sounds like if you used to play Call of Duty Black Ops 2 back in the day and there was a ranked system and then every like month or so the ranks would reset and then you have to grind to the top of it again after a month. That's what seasons means to me. I could be wrong on that. There could be a battle pass. You could pay for stuff and you have to rank up and you get given cosmetics in game. As long as the game is not pay to win, I don't mind there being microtransactions. I don't mind there being passes. Passes, in my opinion, should be cosmetic, aesthetic stuff only in terms of what gears you get, what bikes look like. That's all I'm saying. And you should be able to unlock stuff in games for free as well. So I'm hoping seasons doesn't just mean lots of microtransactions. We'll see about that in the future. And then when it says about motocross esports, the MX Bikes LAN event at Ypres in Italy was without a doubt one of the best weekends of my entire life. I had so much fun. I was treated incredibly well. And that was all sorted out by Nico and by Steffi, that are both people behind the scenes of this game. So that really, really excites me. If you are someone that hasn't had interest in that before, but you love your motocross games, and you're good at your motocross games, and you can get to the top of this, I think you're in for a very, very fun time. Like I said, you get taken care of very, very well. Hotels paid for, flights paid for, get to play on stage in front of 100 plus people. Really, really exciting stuff. If I like the game, I will be grinding the game to hopefully get to a point where I can go to more LAN events. It was incredibly good fun. Long-term vision. MTG will operate as a live service game With this vision in mind, we intend to foster a strong relationship with our community by rewarding them for a constant flow of challenges as time progresses. Live service game both scares me and pleases me at the same time. On the bad side of things, it means it might release in not a full fleshed out state like some people might like. On the good side of things, it will constantly be updated, unlike some other games that we play at the moment that don't see updates for 6 months to a year at a time. Nothing else to say on that matter. We'll see what happens in that regards with the updates. For every rider, Motocross, this is a long, oh my god, I haven't read anything this long in a very, very long time. Motocross is by essence a difficult discipline. Not only must you control the bike, but also the rider. The terrain is uneven, changing every lap, and scattered with obstacles that will throw your bike in the air in seconds. This combination makes it one of the most challenging and demanding motorsports ever. I wholeheartedly agree. You don't just sit on the bike and twist the throttle. General public. Where other games, with few exceptions, target a wide audience by making their games overly accessible with arcade-type physics, Legends, MESX, MTG offers a realistic simulation that creates every aspect of the sport, from real-world tyre suspension data to accurate in-air dynamics and pilot movements. We want to give the players the tools to express their love for dirt bike disciplines and gradually uncover the different layers of gameplay that makes this sport incredibly deep and challenging. And while we believe that hardcore players will be convinced by our game, we won't forget about the casual players with limited sim racing background that want to try something new. With carefully designed riding aids and multiple categories of bikes and tracks, we'll ensure that everyone finds gameplay that is both accessible and rewarding. So, real-world tyre suspension data, tyre and suspension data, W, in-air dynamic and pilot movements. For whatever reason, the in-air movements of a rider seems to have baffled motocross game creators for a very, very long time. Animations make a game for the most part. I hope they do a really, really good job on that. I hope that when people want to throw the fattest whip of their entire life and get upside down and inverted, the rider replicates that as well. I also hope that if you want to do a backflip, you don't get halfway upside down and then it flings you the rest of the way. I'd like to see a good amount of control, especially in the air. But then I don't want it to be as far to the extent of like Reflex, for example, where you could hold L1 or left bumper, depending on what control you use in the air, and you could manually move your bike side to side across the width of the track in the air. That's a little bit unrealistic. You should be able to have a bit of movement. So if I'm jumping and I'm in Supercross, for example, I'm jumping for a rhythm, you see now if people come up a little bit short, they'll quickly just put the bike a little bit sideways as they come into land and then soak it up. I'd love little things like that. I'd love to see it not be a right trigger simulator, so it will take a little bit of throttle control. And something that's never ever been possible in any game, other than maybe MX Simulator, is in Supercross as well. If you're coming out of a 90-degree corner and there is a single into a rhythm, or a rhythm that starts with just a single, in real life, a lot of the time, if you're in a battle with someone as well, you can go to the inside and roll that first single, then get on the power and seat bounce out of that without losing that much time compared to the person that will rail around the outside and double or triple in. I like to see momentum in video games, in motocross games especially. I don't want to be going into Supercross tracks, coming up a little bit short on something, and then proceeding to just like bounce and jump my way through rhythms. If there's going to be a legs off side of things in which you crash from casing things too hard or over jumping things, I think that is needed as well. Maybe it will say more about that later on. In terms of, do I want to be able to then stand up and run to my bike and pick the bike up again and start it and go? From a competitive standpoint, no. From a casual standpoint and cool fun factor, yes. So 50-50, maybe an option that you can turn on or off server side. They said here that we don't forget about casual players, and they've got riding aids and so on and so forth. Again, if it's server side, I don't mind it. I want to be able to set up a server. I want to have a button that says assists on, assists off, done. Nothing else. The last thing you want is to go into a server and you be someone maybe that, let's say you use pro settings where you have no assists on, anything like that, to get the maximum amount of control over your bike as possible. I think it would be a bit poo if you loaded into a game and someone has full assists and it makes them much better and faster at the game a lot easier. because at the end of the day, people that want to be the fastest will find the fastest way of doing it. And if the fastest way of doing it is playing it with all of the assists, I feel like that might ruin the game slightly. So maybe it's turned off for online competitive stuff. I don't know. We shall see in the future. But there's a little bit of a brainstorm here. We've got the team. So I did see this picture posted in Discord, and I thought this was quite funny. I love the artwork behind it. So we've got Stony right here. We have got Nico, Steffi. We've got JV. Did not know Hell Machine's first name was Eric, so now I feel like I know Eric on a more personal level. We have got John. We've got Chris, aka Checkers. We've got Priscilla, and we have got Mr. Reaperdoc, aka Chancey as well. So all familiar people. Cool to see everyone working on it as well. W artwork going on here. We'll see what goes on in the future here as well. We have got this is a bit of background about Virtual MX overall as well. It is Nico's company, to say Virtual MX, and I'm sure there was a lot of other people behind the scenes as well, but Virtual MX and Inner Esports were the ones that made the MX Bikes LAN event possible. Virtual MX is the entity behind the MX Bikes shop as well, and some other websites like MXB Coaching, which I'm a part of. So again, there might be a level of bias in there because I get along with Nico. I guess I've worked is worked the correct term. I've used Nico's services, let's say, for like MXB Coach, for example, and I use the shop as well for tracks. So yeah, again, I hope it goes well. We've got game features, which is to keep the momentum going and our community involved. We've decided to reveal some of the game's unique features throughout the campaign. I saw the word campaign. Ignore me. Campaign means the Kickstarter campaign. There's some hidden and exciting features waiting to be discovered, each adding new depth and enriching the overall gameplay. The compound, which we have got here, I was going to say this literally it looks like MX Bikes in terms of this visual. And at first I thought they'd taken screenshots from MX Bikes, but the reason it looks so familiar is because it's JV's. Can I open this in a new... I can. I want to try and open this or pause this on a particular photo to... This one, really emphasize something here. No, it loads the same one. On these photos, you will see... Oh, right here, it's still moving. The norms... Actually, it's tiny. Never mind, ignore me. The norms are absolutely insane of some of these. This will be flat in-game. The way the norms and the lighting and the texturing works, it looks so 3D. It is unreal. And the lighting in Unreal Engine, compared to, I think it's OpenGL, that MX Bikes uses, it is going to be on a whole nother level. And we've already seen how good the games can look with shaders and stuff that we have currently. I don't think you'll need shaders for an Unreal Engine game. It's going to look absolutely insane, and that is one of the biggest things I'm excited for, is the visual aspect of it. Motocross the game stands out with the never-seen concept of having its own compound as a game hub. Does Legends have the compound as a HUD? Hub, not HUD. I'm not too sure. Anyway, the MTG compound, a space that truly feels like your own. Play to unlock countless upgrades, showcase your bike collection, your personalized garage for you Americans, and proudly display your trophies. Expand your garage to achieve... I've got me changing my words now. To achieve a full factory look. And that's just the beginning. Invite your friends to join you on your compound and show off your amazing upgrades. So in terms of hub and showing off your upgrades, I wonder if like you've got your compound and then you've got your garage on the side of the compound, which is where you have all of your trophies and your personalized bikes and things like that. And then maybe in real time, you don't go from garage to compound and you get like a loading screen and stuff like that. You just ride out of the garage, out of your hub, and then you get to ride around the compound with your friends when you invite them. So they get to see your garage. When you get invited by them, you get to see their one. That sounds really cool. If that's what I'm reading it as, that'll be very exciting as well. It gives you a reason to grind for things, maybe earn trophies and achievements other people don't have. I would like to see achievements as well. I don't think we have... Well, I mean, MX Bikes definitely doesn't have any achievements, but Steam achievements, a reason to grind it, especially if it's coming out on console. Console players love their achievements and getting stuff like that, so that'll be nice as well. Would definitely be a game, if I enjoy the gameplay, that I'd then go on to probably 100% if possible. Maybe there's some quite hard achievements. Maybe you have to grind to a certain rank online, things like that. I had no idea. Motocross the game is built with esports in mind. As we aim to become a reference in the genre, expect all the features that make a successful sim racing game. MTG will be offering ongoing competitive seasons, fresh content updates, and new challenges to keep the experience exciting. Whether you're aiming for the top of the leaderboard or looking to hone your skills, there's always something new to master. Now, I have an idea. If any of the people behind the scenes of MTG are watching this video up to this point, somehow I've been talking about this game for 30 minutes. Holy moly. If anybody of them is still watching, when you say about competitive seasons and things like that, I think adding certain types of playlists would be really cool. And then earning different rewards for the different playlists that you play. Obviously, everyone's going to go the most try-hard route. And I'm guessing it's based on an MMR system and a ladder. So if I've got 100 points, someone behind me has 99 points, we get into a lobby together, Mr. 99 points beats me in the race, he then leapfrog me, he now has 101 points, maybe I lose a point, maybe I go down to 99, 98, or maybe I'll say 100, who knows. And then it's a constant like climb up the ladder to see who's at the very top. So there's going to be a lot of grinding behind it, which is exciting. But hear me out. Playlists. A fun playlist, maybe something different, is, let's say there is a lobby set up where you can't get out of first gear on your bike. You can't get out of second gear on your bike. You can only sit down. You can only stand up. It locks you to those things. And then doing these, let's say, challenge races in lobbies with other people that are also doing that same challenge could take away some of the monotony of just doing the same thing over and over again as well. And again, from a content perspective, a biased content perspective, sounds really, really cool. I agree. Thank you very much. Great idea. Mine. I expect to be paid commissions now. Why Motocross esports? The game's potential to host global tournaments or become a professional esport lies in its ability to bring the thrill and complexity of motocross into the digital arena. Just like traditional sports such as football, basketball, and racing have embraced esports with professional teams and leagues, motocross has untapped potential for this shift. With its deep skill curve, strategic elements, and adrenaline pumping action, a motocross simulation can attract dedicated players and fans. As esports continue to grow, creating a competitive environment for motocross in the digital world opens the door for global tournaments, professional teams, and a thriving community around the sport. I wholeheartedly agree. We've already got companies like FXR, for example, interested in motocross games. We have got real-life riders such as Pierce Brown, Aaron Plessinger, Justin Bogle, even AC, I've since been interested in the game. There's probably a whole bunch of people that I'm forgetting as well. Real-world riders are interested in their video games as well. If they have any sort of, I guess, influence in making things popular and getting excited about games as well, I think it'll be even more of a W. So I'm hoping that it goes really well, and then outside companies get involved in it as well and really, really enjoy it. It makes me cringe watching Supercross and seeing them do a full like segment, 30 seconds to a minute, whatever it is, on the latest Monster Energy Supercross game, on MXO SAT Legends. I think for outdoors, I think they had banners and stuff like that, because I don't think it's the best representation of motocross that you can get in a video game. So I would love to see the tides change as such and other games come to the forefront. Become a motocross esports rider. Our robust moderation and clean racing detection system ensure the best experience. Just like in real life, your title won't last forever. Defend it each season. Clean racing detection system. If this is a safety rating like iRacing has, I'm here for it. I absolutely detest. This could be more for me than other people. I don't want to make it all about me. If I join a server with the name Lins, there is a very, very high chance that I don't survive turn one. I get absolutely yeeted into the stands by people, the little gremlins of the community, that just think it's funny to go and punt people. Having a safety rating system in place could very much change that. Some people won't care about their safety rating, but what they could do is make it so you have to have a particular safety rating to race certain races. And I'd be all for that. I consider myself quite a clean racer, and I think if this is done in a good way, big W. Leaderboards could be cool. Ranking it by highest MMR, most race wins, highest safety rated person, things like that. Again, another little idea there of leaderboards and being able to break things down. Obviously, hot lap leaderboards as well would be very cool. If it's moderated, I remember, can't remember if it was Reflex, or it might have been Reflex and Live, where a lot of leaderboards were glitched and people would have like 10-second lap times on a national track. If it was moderated, and it was kept to realistic times, that would be cool. I'd love to see that. It would give people a reason to go for their hot laps and post world record videos on YouTube still. Developed by a close to a decade-long experienced team in sim racing and using real-life data from industry professionals for the tyres, suspensions, and every other aspect of the bike, our state-of-the-art esports simulation will reward you with the most precise motocross simulation you've ever played. From the responsiveness of the throttle to weight transfer, every detail was meticulously crafted to make you feel like you're really in control. Whether you're navigating into sharp corners or soaring over jumps, a true-to-life motocross game of your favourite device. All sounds good to me. Realistic tracks, based on real-world measurements and 3D scan technology. So it looks like we're actually going to have one-to-one scaling. That's what I make out of this picture here. Could be wrong. It could be scaled up slightly. I don't know. I love one-to-one scaling, so I don't mind that at all. Experience the adrenaline of authentic motocross, supercross, and enduro. Oh, love that. I do like me a bit of enduro. Tracks meticulously crafted using real-world data for unmatched realism. While our focus is on delivering a faithful recreation of real-life tracks, our senior-level design team, boasting over 200 replicas in the last 5 years, adds carefully refined gameplay elements. This ensures that each race is not only realistic and immersive, but also balanced, challenging, and most importantly, fun for all players. Again, if you aren't too up to date with other games like MX Bikes, MX Simulator, Stone Rider, JV, Hell Machine, Checkers, I don't know if there's any other track creators on this team right now. They have a disgusting amount of tracks under their belt, and not only that, a disgusting amount of realistic replica tracks that then also race really well from a competitive standpoint. You couldn't ask for better people to be doing this. Unreal Engine 5, lovely stuff. Oh, we go, VMX 450. So, yeah, as I said earlier, we've not got real naming convention yet. I did see a screenshot. Apparently, it's part of the funding thing to get that. Real life licensing costs a lot, but it doesn't bother me if they use the real names or not. Powered by Unreal Engine 5, the most advanced game engine for breathtaking graphics and immersive realism, experience stunning visual fidelity, dynamic environments, and lifelike physics that bring every track, bike, and rider to life, creating a true next-generation motocross adventure. Next-gen graphics, ray tracing, nanites, not familiar with that. I'm not a massive nerd when it comes to the PC side of things, so I don't know. Lumen Global Illumination, mega lights. He was drinking a mega pint. He's got mega lights. Temporal super resolution, all very, very fancy words. Cross-platform, W. Motocross the game with your friends, no matter what platform they use. Well, I play Motocross the game with your friends. Our game will be available on PC, PS5, Xbox Series SX, with full crossplay support, so you can race together. Again, answer my questions from earlier. You can play against each other. It's not just everybody has the game and they play on their own individual ones and compete with anyone, anywhere. Note this feature is included as a stretch goal to get harmonized profiles across all platforms. Okay, so it doesn't come as stock. That is something that's, I guess, is going to take a lot of time, money, and development to come to light. So that is one of the Kickstarter goals. And having the ability to have your profile across all platforms means if you are someone, maybe you travel a little bit and you can't take a PC with you. If you're maybe in the 1% and you've got a home and a holiday home, maybe you've got a PC in one place, you've got a PlayStation in another place, you can play the game on the same profile, just on different consoles. That would be really, really cool, being able to do that. I myself, I'm PC only. I have a PS4, but that is literally just used to watch Netflix over and over in the bedroom. It isn't in the office at all. Right, hidden features, more to come. Take a look at our stretch goals. So then got a roadmap. We've got more information being revealed here on different dates as well. So this is where we're up to so far. The orange boxes have been ticked, and then we've got more unticked boxes for the future. So they've built a community, gather the best team for the project, shape the game vision, start the game development, prioritization of the features, get the industry connections, announcement of the project, launch a Kickstarter campaign, build the official game compound. Now that this is where we're at here, looking to expand the development team. By the way, MTG boys, if you want to slide in my DMs and let me be a game tester, I would be very, very open to doing that. Just throw my name in the hat there, please and thank you. Phase 4, multiplayer becomes available in early 2025. Obviously, these are all subject to change these dates. Game development is a very tedious, long, and difficult thing to do. So any complications can arise at any point, and timescales can be pushed back at any given time as well. So take these with a pinch of salt. Alpha released to Gold Tier Plus bakers. Bakers? Or bikers? No idea. TBA. Gameplay trailer release. Game. This is what I'm most excited for, is actually seeing some gameplay on it, because I've not seen any gameplay yet. I've just seen the same trailer you guys have. Public demo release. More TBA. Release version 1 on PC of fall of 2025. Bug fix, release on console, season 1 announcement. And here we go. These are the goals that we've got here. So at the top, you saw that they was currently at, what was it, £7,000? Let's convert it to dollars. I just have to hold $9,500 by the looks of it. So if you come down here to the goals at the bottom, some people think like this is a disgusting amount of money to ask for. But this isn't just in one lump sum. This is like an ongoing commitment, you have to remember. So even when the game releases and you'll get more and more people buying it, that will all add to this total. I think MX Bikes has like well over $1 million in sales at this point, and that's PC only, never mind it being on consoles. So I'm just going to read through these, see what the future holds for them if they get to the targets. Crossplay, play seamlessly with friends across console and PC being the first thing. Extra bike customization, things, handlebars, pegs, so on and so forth. Okay, that is quite a costly thing to do and time-consuming thing to do as well. You have to imagine that someone has to be there to model all these things, and not only model them, then make it so those different bike parts seamlessly line up with the bike that you are riding. And it's not like you have a Yoshi exhaust on your bike, then you slap an Aqua on it, but then the pipe slightly morphs through the plastics, for example. They all have to be cohesive with each other and work well. Additional game modes such as cross-country, straight rhythm, so on and so forth. Cross-country, don't really care. Straight rhythm will be cool. Trail riding rather than cross-country, I really enjoy. Licensing, what have we got here? Additional real-life tracks. Licensing required to obtain official motocross and supercross tracks. Again, I think they could get away with just using it as... This will just be like a naming thing. I think you can quite easily recreate Anaheim 1 and just not call it Anaheim 1. Call it MTG1 or something like that, and just use the real world, and you can use it as inspiration there. I think there's loopholes around it. Freestyle tricks, again, it doesn't bother me too much, but some of you free ride / freestyle guys would enjoy that. Additional real life bike brands. This is the expensive thing. This is what costs a lot of money. Real life brands care a lot about their reputation. They don't want just anybody using it. The reason it's so expensive is because of that. They don't want any misrepresentation of their brand anyway. They don't want it to be seen in a bad light by any, let's say, bad figures at all. So that's why that is so expensive. Again, doesn't bother me if they do or do not use real life brand names. You can still use the likeness in terms of what the bikes look like with slight tweaks here and there. But again, a cool little milestone in the future. Advanced replay system with photo editing, keyframe, camera path, slow motion. That'd be good for me and other YouTubers getting good thumbnails with like proper replays and slowing things down and taking pictures in game. Better terrain deformation, advanced dynamic terrain deformation. Interested to see how the erode works. I still don't think we've had a good erode system in any motocross game that's ever been made. So I'm hoping that they reach this goal at some point and we can see how that works in the future. Vintage bikes and equipment is cool. Get to ride the old school bikes. Advanced moderation system. Report players directly in game after a race based on the replay. So if people are being arseholes, you can just say this guy was being an arsehole and report them for it. Maybe they'll get banned. Who knows? But that would be quite funny. Small bore bikes, pit bikes, mini bikes, 85s. A lot of you are going to love if they can get 85s in the game. A lot of people want 85s in MX bikes that haven't been ripped from other games. So we'll see how that happens. A track editor in the game as well will be quite cool. That's something that MX Simulator does well. They really make it accessible to make tracks for any sort of newbie, whereas in MX Bikes, it's a very long and tedious process, and you have to get all your naming conventions, save types right, even file sizes and file types right as well. So having a track editor in-game that will do it all for you is a massive plus and an easy entry into making tracks. VR compatibility, I do not own a VR headset, unfortunately. Maybe in the future, but again, another cool feature. And then AI opponents based on machine learning. Be cool if the AI opponents are actually difficult. I don't think I've ever played a motocross game where the AI are hard to beat. They always end up being really easy. And then down here, we've got all of your different tiers and what you do and don't get. Full description of tiers. We've got stuff. Actually, it'll be at the bottom of this as well. Why is it a Kickstarter? Don't care. They need funding. Any game needs funding. again, funding, links. So you've got Steam. I've not been on the Steam page yet. Can I? Hang on a second. Can I have a look at the game on Steam? Oh, I have not seen this page yet. We've got a new page. Let's have a look at this then. I think so. That's going to be the same pictures. Oh, hang on. There's a picture there that I've not seen yet. Oh no, that's just a screenshot from the trailer as well. Motocross game is a game that gamers have been dreaming of for decades. I think a lot of it's the same. I am going to add that to my wish list, actually. I'll do it right now. Support the project on Kickstarter. And yeah, same sort of information there. You've got system requirements if you need to see what kind of PC you need to run for that. Let's go back. You've got a Discord to join, Instagram, TikTok, Facebook, YouTube, Twitch. Does anyone actually use Threads? I don't use Threads. Twitter, aka X. And here we go. So reward tiers. As you can see, if I scroll on the right side, there is a hell of a lot of different tiers. A hell of a lot of different tiers. Some of them being a hell of a lot of money. It just seems to be the more money you pay, the more exclusive stuff you get, whether it's gears in-game, titles. When you say titles, I guessing they mean like almost like calling cards like you have in some Call of Duty games, which would be quite cool. You go supporter title in-game and mechanic title in-game, stuff like that. This one doesn't seem to include the game. 2 items included and optional add-ons. We'll carry on scrolling. Maybe these ones here will show more. Exclusive in-game titles, a token appreciation, yeah. More in-game titles. Bronze member, there you go. So from the bronze member, so for $69, great number, or £54, that gives you the game plus additional things as well. And when they say the game, it will be a digital key. There's not going to be a physical copy of this at all. It's all going to be electronic downloads as well. More exclusive titles in here. If we scroll down to silver, get your name displayed in the compound, which is quite cool. Maybe a little Hall of Fame will be quite nice as well. Different Discord roles, get the game, more in-game titles, and there's a whole lot more. If I expand this and go to details, I imagine there's going to be so many more things in here as well. 4K wallpaper pack. Optional add-ons. Okay, no, that's just sexual stuff. Sorry, I'm a newbie to Kickstarter. And then there's just a whole bunch of different roles. Really, really excited. A year free racing subscription. So what I've been told is I think racing online in general is free, but then the proper competitive / pro scene is going to be subscription based, which I don't know how I feel about it, but in a way, I guess it will worm out a lot of the people with bad intentions that just want to ruin online racing. Like if you're paying to race online, maybe people would take it more seriously, but I don't have enough information on that and how that whole system will work. I don't know how expensive it will be, so I'm not even going to try and expand on that at all. We'll see as more information comes out. Same here, like you get if you spend X amount and you're a platinum rider, you get a bronze tech cosmetic pack, which I'm guessing what's a bronze tech. So it's got race tech origins, cosmetic, maybe gear, maybe bike, maybe certain suspensions, like at least cosmetically, aesthetically, looks wise. No effect on actual gameplay, hopefully. Alpha testing access as well. So if you want to be one of the first people to play the game, that's in here. Exclusive Discord roles, game, of course, a lot of other extra stuff. And then if you come all the way down to the bottom, MTG Inner Circle member. I don't have $10,000 laying around. I, unfortunately, am not that well off in life, although I know there's a lot of people out there that are. That sounds insane. You are now officially a VIP and part of the team. Receive a VIP treatment and a seat to all LAN events organised by a Virtual Mex in the future. So it sounds like they will pay for your LAN event tickets, pay for your flights, and you'll go to every single one. Even if you're not a competitor, you get to go and watch it for free, which actually sounds really cool. I had, again, the LAN event for MX Works was one of the best weekends I've ever had. Receive the most exclusive Gold Tech cosmetic pack, not available after release. Free lifetime premium subscription, so it sounds like you've never got to pay for online at all after you've done that. I should hope not. Inner Circle Discord role, private chat with the team, so you get to talk to the devs in your own private chat as well, and everything included in all of the tiers above this. Also, 21 items in there in total. Have a look into it if you want. I wish I had a spare 10,000 lying around just for the LAN event side of things, because I definitely think you'll get more than 10,000 worth of benefits from that. But unfortunately, I don't. Maybe in the future. Maybe I'll be good enough off before the game releases. Who knows? And then we've got to scroll down past all these because I've just gone through them all again. We're down to the very, very bottom here. Risks and challenges. We've been working on Motocross the game for 18 months now, which that's actually before the MX Bikes LAN event. And I thought that's where a lot of these connections would have stemmed from originally, with Steffi being involved. But it seems like it was earlier on than this. So that's interesting to see. Financial risk. Games are very expensive to make. We can face unexpected and expensive costs such as software licensing, brand licensing, infrastructure costs, etc. Oh, infrastructure. I hope the servers are good, man. I hate when we can only get like 30 people in a server and it gets too laggy after that. I'd love to see full races, full 40-man motocross races, or if it's a competitive server, in the same way that Sim does it, for example, get 150 players in the same server, and then the players that are racing race, and the others sit there and watch, and then it switches to another moto, and then the other players race, and the other players watch. I'd love the servers to be great. And schedule risk, obviously, things can be delayed. That's just how it goes. That's game development overall. And then who cares about the environment? Let's be honest. So that is the entirety of the Kickstarter. Over to the website, I think it's going to be some of the more stuff. We've got Support Us, which will just probably take you to Kickstarter as well. Watch Trailer, which you've already watched. Add the game to wishlist, which I've just had. Roadmap is the same information as on the Kickstarter as well. Got some Q&As in here. Is there online tournaments? It's the same information, just put in different places, cross-platform. Tracks are real tracks. You can customize your rider. Game engine is Unreal Engine 5. News, anything exciting in news? Just the one for the Kickstarter that's been released. You can join their Discord and things like that as well. About, it's probably just going to be about the team. There you go. Oh, you can click on each individual person as well. Or was it just hovering? No, it's just a funky little pop-up. I thought we'd get like a little bio on everybody, but that is not the case. And then yeah, that is all we know about Motocross the game. As I say, I'm quite optimistic. I want it to do well. For bias reasons, I want it to do really, really well, because it will bring a lot more people to the YouTube side of things. The videos will do quite well as well, hopefully. And it's easy to get burnt out of playing the same games all the time. So having other games that you can rotate in to your week, I just see it as a net positive. I've seen a lot of people in Discord already saying bad things, saying, "Oh, it looks too arcadey," and so on and so forth. You've seen a cinematic. All cinematics look arcadey. You can only do so much to it. I'm excited for it. I think it'll be good. There's a lot of good heads behind the scene with people that know what they're doing, so I'm excited to get a look into that. And then I'm just excited to get my hands on the game as well whenever that time will come. I have no idea. But yes, please, if you need any game testers, please slide in my DMs. Thank you. And that'll do it for me. Let me know your guys' thoughts on the game overall. I did not think I would be sat here talking for 52 minutes about something that hasn't even released yet. I'm going to now render this out and go and spend the rest of the day grinding Call of Duty some more, and maybe get to Prestige 3 by the end of the day. We shall see. So thank you very much for watching. Drop a like if you enjoyed, subscribe to the channel, all that good stuff. Have a lovely rest of the day, whatever you're up to, and I'll see you all in the next video. Peace.
Lynn's in the zone, never backing down. Right, MX Bikes, he's the talk of the town. 2022 champ with the YouTube crown. His game is tight, no signs of slowing down. Late nights, bright lights, he's chasing that fame in the digital arena. Writing his name, she's a 10 out of 10. Supporting his lane, hairline might receive, but his passion's the same.